Hi, I'm Ruth Dickey, Executive Director of the National Book Foundation. Today, I'm so excited that we're talking with Shifa Safadi, the author of KAREEM, the winner of our 2024 National Book Award in Young People's Literature. Shifa, thank you so much for being with us. We're so excited.
Thank you for having me. I'm so excited to be here.
I love how KAREEM is dedicated to readers who have ever felt stuck between two worlds, and also how KAREEM talks about the idea of betweenness throughout the book, including his in-between language, as he calls it. And I'd love to begin by hearing how the title came to you and how you thought about betweenness as you wrote.
I've always felt this betweenness, and it's only when I grew up and started, I think I still struggle with it sometimes, but I'm definitely very proud of both of my cultures and who I am, and kind of seen it as something that just makes me me. But growing up, I remember wishing that I didn't have to be so different. I wanted to belong. I wanted to fit in. And so I wanted to provide a story to readers who felt that way.
I'd love to know what's one piece of writing advice that you got that has been particularly meaningful that you'll never forget?
I think that the first draft is always going to be bad, because I think a lot of times when we come to a computer and write or journal, we want it to come out perfect. And if it doesn't come out right, you might be discouraged. Or, when you write such a long novel, like whether it's Getting Between or longer, sometimes like by the time you get to the end, you've forgotten what the beginning's like, or you feel like you must go back every single time you open the computer. You feel like you must go back to the beginning and correct it before you move on. So, leaving it behind and accepting that it's going to be bad the first time was the best advice. And then revision is where the magic's at. That's where you've laid the foundation and you come back and make the writing better and better. So that would be my advice to pass on as well.
Excellent advice. I'd love to know, what do you think of as your superpower and how do you use it in your writing?
My superpower is probably the fact that I'm very organized. So I have calendars, to-do lists, and I'm not a procrastinator at all. If I get my edits from my editor, the next day I'll have started on them already. I can't wait, because if I feel maybe it's a superpower, it might be my anxiety as well, but I have to start things immediately. I can't leave my inbox to have a lot of emails. I can't do that. I need to just get things done. So it does get things done, but it also sometimes I need to step away and relax and let, things be. So writing is very much, trying to be organized and be meticulous and on time, but also taking those breaks so your brain gets that moment to rest as well.
And I'd love to know the night of the awards when Bryn Lopez stepped up to the podium and said, and the winner for Young People's Literature is, and announced you in your book. What went through your mind?
It's a magical moment. I still replay it in my mind, honestly. I was so nervous, beforehand, because all 5 books were so incredible. I read them all and I admire the authors so much. And so, you don't know, I'm like, how can my book win over these great books? So I was so nervous. And at the same time, I was like, whoever wins, I'm going to be okay with. And I hope that, my emotions can tolerate it. But, the whole time I was sitting there, they had this great food and I couldn't eat any of it. But I remember being so nervous, and I didn't sleep for days before or after, honestly. But when he said my name, I remember I had the napkin from dinner and I just covered my face with it and I couldn't believe it. Oh my gosh. Sometimes I just replay that moment. It is definitely one of the happiest moments of my life. I don't think that's ever going to go away. It's such a wonderful moment.